say, how wicked was that little teaser? I want to welcome everyone to Showcase's panel for the breakout multi-platform hit series Defiance. As you can see, I'm not Greg David. My name is Samantha Sobleski. I'm a fellow critic from TV Guide Canada, and I will be your moderator for today's panel. So Defiance has opened us up to an exciting world full of compelling characters and fantastic storylines, all while introducing us to the phrase "stacco." Thanks in great part to some of the brilliant actors who we have on today's panel, which I'm thrilled to announce and introduce to you. So please give a warm welcome to our panel lawmaker, Grant Bowler. Amanda Rosewater actress, Julie Benz. The devious Tower matriarch, Jamie Murray. Graham Greene. And finally, our deputy lawmaker, Shane Williams. Hello, so welcome to the panel, everybody.
Hello.
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 Hi. We're good? We're good? Okay, well, thank you. And welcome to the panel, everybody. Okay, so I'm going to start with just a general question for anyone to answer. You know, I read the other day that Robin Williams is a huge fan of the show. I know Julie tweeted about it. So how does it feel to know that so many people have grown to love this series after one season?
Oh, it's awesome. It's pretty awesome. It feels good. I mean, it's great to have fans of the show who are as passionate about the show as we are making it, and that's just, you couldn't ask for more better.
Also because Robin played the original sci-fi character Mork, and the greatest alien of all time. I think that from him it's particularly high praise.
Yeah, and I think one of the reasons that people are also so drawn to the show is obviously the multi-platform aspect. So I was wondering if any of you have ever played the Defiance game before?
I've only put 1 million hours in, but yeah, I play it from when I can now because we're back shooting. But I played it quite a bit. I know that Jesse Rath would have played it, and Jesse is incognito somewhere.
I've tried playing the game. I ran into a wall, blew myself up, and set myself on fire.
But she looked really hot doing it.
Yeah, I just want to say that. I love your stacco shirt, by the way. So I'm going to start with Grant. You know, Kevin Murphy said that New Los Angeles will be explored in season 2, so can you give us any teasers about that?
Yeah, we do. We have a look at a couple of places outside of Defiance in the second season, which is great because we've been talking for some time as a creative outfit about, and I know that I've been getting feedback from fans, and Kevin Murphy has as well, about you know, what's outside this one town. You know, we've seen what St. Louis looks like post-terraforming, but what else is out there? So we've had a crack at a couple of joints, and one of them is Los Angeles, and it's I wonder if I can tease this without getting fired. Let's try it.
Oh, come on, we're all friends here. I'm not going to tell anybody.
Los Angeles now has an enormous amount more readily available water than it used to. Let's just put it that way.
Are we going to be meeting any citizens of Los Angeles?
We will be meeting some very, very ugly citizens of Los Angeles, and we'll also be meeting some citizens of the game. So if you're a gamer and if you've played Defiance the game, there are a couple of kind of rabid individuals who have been chasing after my bloke for some time that we may or may not come into contact with in the show. So that's kind of cool.
Okay, I'm going to turn it over to Graham Green for a question. So you're widely known and respected throughout Canada for your acting. Like, I myself have been watching. Deli the Dragon, so this is So, what's it like getting to film the series here in Toronto? What's it like filming in Toronto?
What's it like filming in Toronto? Well, it's like opening the biggest present on Christmas Day and finding out it's a pair of socks. No, I love filming in Toronto. I've lived here for... Somebody said, have you lived here all your life? And I said, not yet. However, it's been close to 40 years and I finally got a job in town. So I'm happy. It's great being here. I love being home and I love working here. So there you are.
Now, Rafe was shot during the season finale, but I doubt a bullet wound can slow down a determined Rafe McCauley. So what state is Rafe going to be in when season 2 starts?
What state are you going to be in? Yeah.
Like, how are you doing?
Oh yeah. These are my new hearing aids. I used to work in the rock and roll industry, and I'm deaf now, so I have to wear hearing aids. Yeah, I got shot last year, and what state am I going to be in when I come back? I'm looking for some payback. Somebody is going to get a cat in their ass. I ain't saying who, but his initials are E-Rep.
I think when we started working together, you know, we were like gypsies, we're all in trailers, and I could hear this rap music. And I thought it was probably my son Jesse, or maybe it was Duchesne, and it was Graham. He was blaring it out. And actually, if you ask nicely, he actually raps, just saying. He
does.
It's not bad.
People are asking,
Oh, I do have a rap album. It's called Rap for Old Guys. My rap name is Easy Geezy. It's on iTunes, and I can do one from one of my favorite ones. It's about some kids that live next door to my house. And it goes, stop your ass right there, that's as far as you get. One more step and you will wind up in shit. You have just entered my piss-off zone, so grab your narrow ass and haul it out my lawn.
top that. So the fate of Arissa was left up in the air in the season 2 finale. So Stephanie, what was your first reaction when you read the script?
Wow, I definitely can't top that. I'm not rapping. Yeah, I should rap my answer. Yeah, I mean, I didn't really think about it as we were shooting it. I was just going on this big old journey with Arissa, and then suddenly, when I was watching the series, I was like, shit, well, can I swear?
You just did.
I did.
Shut up.
I said, shut up. What happened to her? Like, I literally realized suddenly, God, like, she's fallen down this pit, and who knows? So I was kind of baffled myself. So then the script started coming in, and I was like, oh, okay, this is where we're going with it. So yeah, she comes. You'll see her again, but in a very different way. Arissa's done a lot of growing. Yeah, she's a tough cookie, but yeah, you'll see her again.
Yeah, I understand that her fate is the front and center of the season 2 premiere. So can you give us anything teasers about that?
No, I don't know about that, but yeah, she. The whole thing gets dark. It's like everything you saw in season 1, forget it. Like that was just introducing the characters. I mean, everybody comes back in a completely different way it's been so nice starting to shoot it. I feel like every day I walk in and everything is just turned. Like you think you know what you're doing in the scene, and then suddenly it just goes a completely different way. And I think all the characters have got a lot darker. Don't think that you know what to expect, because you really don't. It's it's been mad. I think everyone else would agree. There's big twists with everybody. It's been huge. So it's been a lot of fun already. But as you can see, I've got a big old bruise here, so it gets pretty dark in season 2. So yeah.
Okay, and Nolan, he got pretty beat up publicly at the end of the season. You know, he gave up his title as lawmaker, and he's got a missing, potentially dead daughter. So what kind of mindset is Nolan going to be in when season 2 starts?
Homicidal. Which is actually how he wakes up anyway, so it's not that different. He's looking, when we come into season 2, he's looking for his baby girl. So that's where we find him, and he's travelled a long, long way to find her. So when we start with Nolan, he's a long way from Defiance, and no intentions of going back.
Yes, actually, someone who else got pretty publicly beat up was your character, Julie. So Amanda lost the election. How is that going to affect her in season 2?
Oh, she lost a lot, didn't she? I mean, her ex-husband died. She came close to death a couple times herself, lost her job, and her sister's disappeared. Don't tell me what happened. We see her struggling at the beginning of season 2. She's in a very dark place, and Scotch has become her friend.
And Amanda's always seemed very diplomatic, you know. She's been able to see things from various perspectives as the mayor, but now that she's out, will we be seeing a harder and more cynical Amanda for season 2?
I mean, yes, you see diplomacy laced with cynicism on many different levels. She's trying to survive, and she wants answers. She's really struggling with the disappearance of her sister. Don't tell me what happened.
Julie never watches the show.
Or read the scripts,
So nobody tell her what happened.
Don't tell me what la 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 la. I mean, she's definitely in a much darker place.
Okay. I want to talk to someone who I feel has really evolved throughout this season, which has been Tommy, so Sean's character. So I want to ask you, what can we expect out of Tommy in season 2? He's grown this much since episode 1.
Sorry, can you repeat the second part of that?
Your character has grown so much, so what can we expect out of him since he's grown this much just in 1 season?
Good question. First off, this is my first convention, so... This is really cool. I will say that I second what Stephanie was touching on. All the characters have been completely flipped around. Especially Tommy, because he's dealing with 2 things this season. Feeling abandoned by Arissa, because she disappears, and adjusting to the hierarchy, the new hierarchy in the town. So we could expect to see him really try to put his foot down. That's going to be tough with people like Nolan hanging around, but yeah. A lot of growth, anyway.
Okay, cool. I'm going to move along to our alien species. So first with Jamie, I mean, it's hard to believe you and Stomatar are the same person. So how long does it take you to get made up as Stomatar?
Actually, I spy with my lie. My amazing makeup artist here, Colin Penman. It takes 2 hours, which sounds like a lot if you've never been in a makeup chair, but actually, some ladies take almost as long just to get ready for a red carpet. So Colin's amazing. He's really got the time down to 2 hours. And also, people are like, oh my God, 2 hours, it sounds awful. I think it takes you a bit long. Does it take you longer than 2 hours? No, about that. But you know, it's rather nice. I have someone fussing over me, who's become one of my really great friends. I drink lots of tea, listen to some good music. I'm quite disappointed when I have to get out of the makeup chair. But yeah, it goes on slowly. The transformation is gradual, and I always say that it's at the end of the day when I'm kind of, I'm done really. I want to get home and have a hot bath and watch some telly, and I take it all off really, really quickly, and that's when the shock really happens for me, and I see this boring brown-eyed girl blinking back.
It's disappointing for the rest of the show.
They're all home. They all got home hours ago.
Jamie takes it all off and we go, Jamie.
Yeah, and like Jamie, Stephanie, your makeup is out of this world. So how long roughly does it take you to get ready?
Well, this isn't actually my forehead. The other one's my real forehead. I do feel like that, but yeah, it takes about the same, I think, roughly.
Tell them about
But
how
yeah,
it
can we
comes
talk
off.
about
Tell them about how it
wait.
comes off. It's very glamorous.
They laugh, but yeah, I do look the most glamorous at the end of the day. Not.
I walked into the makeup trailer the other day, and she's literally just like ripping it off her face.
Rips
Like
her
it
arm
just
and
comes
forehead
right off.
It's revolting.
It's the sweat.
It's so disgusting to
The
watch.
sweat builds up underneath, and it just comes off really easily. So it's really glamorous.
That's really hot.
I sweat my face off.
And Stephanie, your character is kind of going to be a badass, take down a lot of bad guys alongside Tommy and Nolan. So I've got to ask, what was it like to kick Alec Tar in the face, or Daytech Tar in the face?
Really satisfying. Yeah. But Tony's a lovely guy as well, so it's kind of funny as well. But yeah, it gets even more badass. I mean, I've already been kicking some butt over the last 2 weeks. As you can see, I'm very proud of this bruise. That's why I put it out. But, yeah.
Tell them how you got it.
I can't. I wish I could. It's not as badass as I'm making it sound. But yeah, no, it's yeah. There's a lot of kicking butt in this season from a lot of people. So yeah, you'll see a lot more of that. She definitely won in a very erotic way.
You probably want to know who the other person who may or may not have got a bruise is.
Yeah, there are a lot of ways to win a fight. Marissa definitely knows all of them. Thanks, man.
So Jamie, when I first started watching this show, I immediately thought your character was very Lady Macbeth, loyal to her husband, but at the same time conniving, devious, and manipulative. So what's it like playing such a cutthroat character?
Well, I mean, I really like her. I don't think she's a bad character at all. I always say in order to play a character, you can't judge them too harshly, so I'm always trying to look at why she's doing the things that she's doing, and I think she has, the best interests of her dear son, Alec, and Daytech at her core, and, ultimately her own survival, and she's just very creative about how she gets there.
Okay. And Stannis certainly isn't afraid to do what she wants when she wants, and Killing kind of definitely proved that. So, were you surprised when you read this?
Darling, just going to say that again.
Sorry.
Rephrase that.
Were you surprised when you read what happened in the script? And
No,
do you
not
think?
really. I thought she had it coming to her. I mean, she was just getting in the way, wasn't she, really?
Do you think she's really dead?
I mean...
Nikki, the former mayor, Nikki.
Okay.
Yes, I think she went into a very, very deep sleep, from which she will never awake.
Maybe.
Yeah. She went to a better place.
Can you tease a little about the situation for Daytech and Sama at the beginning of season 2?
Start with I'm a little.
Flick your head. Now flick your head.
What I would say is that it's a very intricate and complex society and world that we've set up, and that's complicated by the fact that it's not just one world. You're also, you've got the mythology of 7 different alien races, and obviously Castigans have their own culture and society, and now hopefully the audience is on track and understands, the world that we're setting up for you, and yeah, it's like a chessboard that's been flipped, and so I think that the very strong patriarchal society that has maybe put Stammer in some ways in a gilded cage has been flipped a little bit this season. Thank you. It just happened as I was talking. It just all just fell out of me. Wish I'd written it down.
Grant, can you talk a little about the father-daughter relationship between Nolan and Arissa? It's unconventional because of the setting, naturally, but very loving and realistic.
It's probably one of the biggest surprises for me in the series was I love the dynamic reading the script, and all the way from the beginning it was I kind of looked at it on paper as the most unique father-daughter relationship I'd seen in a television series, and maybe in a film too. There's paper moon elements that Kevin's brought into the relationship, but the fact that she's actually an alien as well, and all of the damage that's been done to these two characters, and how just exactly how damaged and harmed they are when they come together, I've never seen written before. And how they form a life jacket for each other, they form a life raft for each other is just wonderful to me. It's interesting. We never talk about it. We never rehearse anything. We never talk about the ins and outs of the relationship ever. We walk on the floor, we play the scenes, and we kind of go hotter, colder. Marco Polo. Yep, that one. And then we finish up the night and we walk away. I don't know what makes that relationship, and I never want to find out because we'll probably ruin it if we find out. But it's special, it's really special to play. It's lovely. Yeah, it's the nicest relationship I've ever played. So.
And the nicest relationship, I would say, in Defiance, for sure.
It's pretty, yeah. Yeah. Can be. And can be pretty ugly. Especially when her forehead falls off.
I'm going to go back to you, Julie, for a minute because, all 3 of the ladies here are very strong in their own sense, but specifically, what's it like for you playing such an interesting, strong female character?
That's what attracted me to the show in the first place. I loved how all the female characters were very complex women. You don't have your typical mother, wife, victim role in this show. As an actress, I've been doing this for almost 30 years now, and the older you get, yeah.
Did you start in the womb?
She was
I made money then.
I paid him to say that. But no, the older you get as an actress, unfortunately, the less interesting the roles come. And for me, when I was sent this script, I really loved Amanda and the fact that she was a woman of power and struggling within her power, but she was a woman of power, and that she was as complex as she was, because too many times you get scripts and it's like the girlfriend of the cop or the wife of the cop, or and those can be interesting characters, but you're usually kind of secondary as far as the action goes. I love playing a badass, and I love having a cast of women that can all kick ass in their own ways.
Oh, and just a little spoiler for season 2. This one was in the back lot last week. I was with her, and she was doing the biggest stunt scene you've ever seen indoors, and kicking butt. She was fantastic.
I got all my anger issues out for the month, so I'm good. I'm happy.
Put it this way: after watching that, I feel sorry for Julie's husband because, oh boy.
Sukar up here. There's a
Where?
Rathian up
Oh my
here.
God, we do. We've got a super.
Wow.
Hello. Sukar.
Will you come? Can you come down? Can we see him up close? Can you come down? Come down. I love Sukar. I have a thing for
Massive crush on
Sukar.
Yeah, so while they're coming down,
This happens every con, don't worry.
I'm excited.
He looks much shorter in person.
You're actually a lot easier to fight than the other Sukar. He's about here.
You don't see anybody dressing up like Rafe McCauley at these things. All you gotta do is dig a hole in the ground and roll around in the dirt for an hour or two, and then you're Rafe McCauley.
So we've seen Tommy grow to have real emotions and physically get involved with Arissa. And we saw him get emotional just at the thought of her leaving Defiance. So how's he going to take the news that she's missing?
Sorry, the second half?
How's he going to take the news that Arissa's missing?
One more time, sorry. We can't really hear down here.
Mumble
The
clear.
Canadian accent. I mean, it's impossible to decide. I never understand why you don't articulate.
The news that Arissa's missing.
Oh, you know, I don't think he's gonna be happy about it. That's one thing, but no, definitely he took it pretty badly, I would think, because he was really invested in this relationship in the first season, and then he had to adjust to her just disappearing and not coming back for a period of time. So it's going to be interesting to watch the first couple of episodes and how they interact and if they can reconcile or not. What did you do over there? He's always doing stuff. He's always doing stuff behind my back. I can never prank him. And then, you know, you pranked me yesterday. So I'm like in my trailer, you know, getting ready, got my pants on, you know. And someone just comes to the door and just goes, boom, 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 boom. And I'm like, oh shoot, no, I'm late. You know, so like I put my belt on or whatever, I run to the door, and I open it, and there's like our poor AD, and she's just looking up at me like, I'm looking around the corner, and there's Graham like hiding. It's like peeking out like, hey man, it wasn't me, I promise. I'm just standing over here, it wasn't me.
Then he started rapping, right? So weird.
Answer the question, I don't know.
Sam, I apologize
It's okay.
for all of us.
Hey,
She's got the hardest job in showbiz, man, is keeping this cast in line.
I know.
Thank you, thank you. So if Arissa does manage to survive this, do you think the two have a shot at getting together for real romantically?
Let's hope so. What do you guys think? Let's hope so. I think they have a shot. But it's going to be really tough, though. The second season.
You better do the right thing by her.
Hire, love, and respect your daughter, son.
And my handgun goes full auto.
Go play, go play.
And I want to bring up the fact that there's definitely something between Amanda and Nolan, and some see them as a will they or won't they couple of Defiance. Julie, is there potential for them to get together romantically, and do you think that would ruin their relationship that they have now?
I think that's part of the fun of the show is when you watch, you kind of want them to be together and you hope that they will, but there's always an obstacle. There was a big obstacle season 1. My sister.
Don't worry, darling, I took care of that.
Didn't know she was his sister the first time.
The third time and the fourth time.
There had already been a first time. So.
So there's quite a few obstacles.
And Grant, what do you think of that?
I think that, I think Amanda's a handful, and for Nolan, he's kind of used to things being a little more casual, let's say. A little,
Hey, no, I don't want to hear this.
Nobody wants to hear this.
a little less committed, maybe. And I think that Julie, Amanda. Amanda represents, the idea of something, that would probably wouldn't be able to run away from very easily.
It's very hard to run away from me.
Yeah. So I think that emotionally he's probably punching above his weight. But she's really hot, so and that matters a lot to Nolan. So.
And on that note, unfortunately, that's it. That's all the time that we have. Sorry, but I do want to thank Grant, Julie, Jamie, Stephanie, Graham, and Deshawn for being with us. So season 2 of Defiance airs in 2014 on Showcase. So look out for that and have fun at the autograph session if you want.